Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching The Bear Season 3. Now, The Bear has consistently been one of my favorite series to watch on Hulu. Ever since the first season came out in 2022, where it initially had very little marketing but got a lot of attention due to positive word of mouth, it basically became one of my favorite series to watch not only as a foodie but also as a TV drama fan. The story of Carmy, Brizzato, and his struggling work at a sandwich shop known as the Beef quickly became almost a redemption story of Carmy going from fine dining to going into a bout of depression due to his brother's death, ultimately leading to him making new friends with his new chef staff, and ultimately getting a fancy restaurant that he's always wanted to have. But while the first season was about building up to said fancy restaurant, and the second season was more about, doing the prep work to get the restaurant working, and ultimately to make a solid first impression, the third season is more about getting to know the various cast members more, uh, resolving some unresolved tension faced by Sydney, Carmy, and some of the other characters. And we also get the third season to show how the restaurant's going when some non negotiables are put in place. But this is also where I have both strengths and weaknesses to go with this season. While the season does have plenty of strong moments, such as Sugar going through pregnancy and having to rely on Carmy's mom for help with that, to Tina's backstory about how she lost her job at a chocolate factory and how she eventually got to know the Brizzato brothers, to her to another episode that features Carmy finally meeting up his jerk boss and finding out why he was so abusive to him in the first place. Those episodes were definitely strong ones in the season. But there are some other episodes that feel like they have sections that go on way too long. Comic relief involving the Fack family that is way less funny than I think it is, and a bunch of celebrity cameos that some work and some don't. I generally think that John Cena, Olivia Colman, and Will Poulter's cameos do genuinely work, but others tend to fall flat and they feel like they're there to drag out a season that doesn't have as many ideas or as much story that they're going through as the first two seasons did. I think the first season was paced extremely well, mainly because no episode felt like it was around too long, even the last episode. And heck, even the 20-minute long one take episode near the end of the first season is one of my favorite episodes of television and one of the most stressful ones I've seen in years. The second season was still generally well paced, but the second season also had an hour-long episode that felt like it dragged on for way too long to get its points across, even with Jamie Lee Curtis and Bob Odenkirk guest starring. In this season, none of the episodes are as long as that hour-long episode in season 2, but some of them feel like they drag out certain scenes almost to the breaking point, almost like they were trying to stretch episodes out to get to a certain length rather than just allowing the characters to bounce off each other the way they should. Granted, most of the characters who get focused this season get some good stuff. You know, Sydney, Tina, Marcus at the funeral, Carmy, Richie, especially. Richie is still hilarious. I'm waiting to see how his actor does in the MCU. But for the most part, it feels like this show had less momentum than the previous two seasons. That's not to say that it's bad, though. When the show needs to get to some of the important stuff that's probably going to lead to season 4, or when it's just giving development for the characters or letting us know their backstories more, it is genuinely effective. It also feels, though, that there's a lot of fat that they could have cut, so to speak. So, if the first two seasons of The Bear were perfectly done cuisine, the second season is one that still is pretty impressive, but definitely has some room for improvement in some ways. That's why I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.